Hi, I'm Jamie Lee Curtis, and this is Castle Dracula at Universal Studios. MGM was known for its lavish musicals, Warner Brothers for their hard-hitting crime pictures, and Universal for its monsters. We're here to celebrate Universal's history of horror by taking a look at some of the previews of this company's most famous and infamous fantasy films. My favorite parts of the movie-going experience has always been the trailers or the previews of coming attractions, which run before the main feature. These previews are sometimes better than the movies themselves, and with good reason. Even the worst movie should have enough good footage to create 2 or 3 exciting minutes. Horror movie trailers are the best. Spectacular monsters, fantastic special effects, exotic rituals are all played up to the hilt to sell tickets in the most sensational way possible. I am honored to be your host for this retrospective of miniature cinema masterpieces.
Mysterious Brazil, land of skyscraper cities, thriving seaports, glittering nightclubs. And only a stone's throw away, the world's most savage, unexplored jungle. Its terrifying wonders brought to the screen in the pursuit of Kuruku, beast of the Amazon. Never before such sights. Forbidden voodoo rites of head-shrinking savages. Serpent and Quatamundi in death struggle. Water buffalo in wild stampede. Never before such danger.
We'd better go over to them. Come on, Andrea.
Me? Why?
See the attack of the man-eating fish, the piranha. The bone-crushing assault of the giant anaconda. See white captives facing the deadliest peril of all. Kuruku, lusting beast of the Amazon.
Producers and directors often shot special footage designed specifically for their previews.
Thrill House Records at 30th and Mission is San Francisco's all-volunteer DIY punk rock record store, featuring the lowest priced vinyl in the Bay Area, specializing in punk rock, but we also carry hip-hop, soul, funk, R&B, blues, jazz, classical, and classic rock for the dads. And don't forget our sick-ass metal section! From the classics to all that unreadable logo crap, we got it all. But mostly punk. 7 inches, t-shirts, buttons, tapes. Did you know that tapes are cool again? Come to Thrill House Records, 3422 Mission Street at 30th, noon to 8 every day.
Vietare, musica. Friends, Chris Genko here. Have you ever wished you were dead because of life's pressures or because of high-rising medical costs? Well, here's news for you. Thanks to a new scientific breakthrough, you can now experience all the relief that death can offer and still be crackling in the cornyard with your friends simply by rubbing on a dab of Genkel's edible postmortem paste. That's right. Without freezing, without transplants or hypnosis, you can shock your friends with an icy glare and give pain and suffering the cold shoulder overnight. Made from a combination of formaldehyde, DMSO, and xylocaine, Genkel's postmortem paste, acting poultice when applied directly to gaping wounds, garlic-flavored glucose base, acts as an actual embalming fluid that seals your pores from the pain and shame of life, while making you look like a spring chicken without hair loss. That's right. Genkel's all-purpose mucilage not only heals cuts, but it seals envelopes, winterizes windows, and can even repair cracked seat covers. Try it on porcelain, ladies. Know what it is to feel the good feeling of nothing at all. To be a born-again dead man with all the hope and purity of a newborn child. With Genkel's Afterlife Rub-On. One tube contains over 1,000 deaths, and you'll be so numb you could be hit by a car and not feel a thing. That's powerful stuff, huh? Order yours now while supplies and you hold out. Send $86 in gold or silver to Genkel Waxworks, Box 666, 6 Mile Island, Elysian Fields, Illinois. The next time you feel you'd be better off dead, you probably would be. Kill 2 birds with 1 Genkel. Save food and funeral costs too. Remember, Genkel's lurks where life leads off.
We're here with one of LA's most exciting new music bands. Made a great impression with Gidget Goes to Hell and their recent national appearance on Saturday Night Live. I'm wearing this outfit to protect me from the sprinklers. Suburban Lawns, janitor!
Expansion, contraction. Underwater, does it matter? Antimatter, nuclear reactor. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's your bubble, your bubble. I guess everything's relative. Oh, it's your bubble, your bubble. I guess everything's a relative. Oh my genitals, 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 oh my genitals. Reaction, expansion, contraction. Manipulator. Underwater, does it matter? Antimatter. Nuclear reactor. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, your mother, your mother. I guess everything's a relative. I guess everything's a relative. Oh my genitals, 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 oh my genitals.
janitor. I'm here with the invisible Suburban Lawns, Chuck, John. Here's Vex. Vex, your lead singer, Sue Tissue, is almost in a catatonic state. What are you projecting by your presentation of the music?
Most of our songs are rags, you know. I mean, we're talking about outmoded sensibilities and redundant type mind.
Outmoded sensibilities like freedom?
Like surf culture.
Atari Pac-Man into your Atari video computer system and you're playing the hottest game since Space Invaders, Atari Pac-Man. I got Pac-Man fever. It's driving me crazy. I said Pac-Man fever. I'm going out of my...
Hate to eat and run.
Pac-Man by Atari. after 7 o'clock on a cold February evening, and I'm standing outside the Senator Theatre in Baltimore for the world premiere of John Waters' latest film, Hairspray. As you can see, there's all of the razzmatazz and hoopla usually reserved only for Hollywood. Everyone who is anyone in Baltimore is here tonight, including the stars of the film, the mayor, and even a bevy of local beauties from the 60s whom the film pays affectionate tribute to. It seems that John Waters, the bad boy of Baltimore, has finally made good. Well, goodish.
This is tremendous. It's a great day for Baltimore. I thank John Waters for bringing it about.
For the last 20 years, John Waters has been shooting movies in Baltimore. Movies that weren't always as acceptable as this, his latest success, Hairspray. With his star actor, Divine, he has been responsible for some of the most shocking, offensive, and hilarious movies ever to come out of America. John is now Baltimore's official golden boy, but it wasn't always that way. Over the years, people have had many different ways of describing him.
The anal anarchist, the Ayatollah of crud was a new one. I've been called all of them. You know, it's nice to have titles.
Any personal favorite?
Oh, yeah, William Burroughs called me the Pope of Trash, and to me, if I'm the Pope, then he's the god of trash.
Hairspray is quite a departure from his early movies. It follows the adventures of a local Baltimorean teenager who is desperate to get on the Corny Collins TV dance show, contrary to the wishes of her mum, played by Divine.
You should be on that council, not her. I know I should, Penny. Hey, I'm going to that hop tonight.
Oh, let me come. Will Ryan say we're going to the library to study?
It's a deal. We'll meet 8 o'clock. Up on the avenue.
Okay, young ladies, I've just about enough of this screeching music.
Mother, we're watching the Corny Collins show.
Penny, your mother called all frantic. She said you were punished.
I'm always punished.
And Tracy, I have told you about that hair. All ratted up like a teenage Jezebel.
Oh, Mother, you're so 50s.
Tracy's flamboyant flip is all the rage, Miss Edna. Jackie Kennedy, our first lady, even rats her hair.
But Tracy ain't no first lady. Are you, Tracy? No, sirree. She's a hair hopper. That's what she is. Now, I've got nothing but hampers of ironing to do, and my diet pill is wearing off. Tracy, I want you to go to your room and study. And Penny, don't you be listening to every bit of nonsense that my daughter tells you. If I didn't know better, I'd swear she was mental.
This time it's quite odd to see you in the role of a caring mother for a change.
That's what I mean. It was a different role for me to play. Both of them were, so it made it interesting and a lot of fun.
Do you think the fans of the earlier John Waters movies and your earlier movies might be a bit disappointed in seeing you in a PG-rated film?
Well, we didn't set out for it to be a PG. We were quite shocked that it actually is a PG, and I think that's the most shocking thing about the film, that it is a PG. But no, I think it's very entertaining and very funny, and I don't think anyone's disappointed. It makes you laugh.
I thought it was wonderful. I think it's one of the best films Glenn has made and John Waters has produced.
Tragically, Divine died 2 weeks after the premiere. If Hairspray is the only John Waters film you've ever seen, you might be surprised to see what he and Divine were up to more than 20 years ago when they first started making films together.
Tell us about your first filmmaking ventures and how you got into films.
Well, I knew nothing about making movies. You know, I just wanted to make them. The first one I made was 8mm. What came out of the camera was the movie. I didn't know you edited. I didn't know what edited meant. And I showed it in some beatnik coffee house. It's a terrible movie called Hag in a Black Leather Jacket.
Which we're not going to see, are we?
No. It's really hard to show because I need an 8mm projector. I mean, it wasn't even Super 8. They didn't have Super 8 then either. It's black and white. There's no print. It's the original. The splice is right in it. It was shown once, I think.
So what were you trying to do? Who inspired it?
Underground movies then, you know, and that was when Underground, this was about 64 I made it, and Underground films had just come out in New York, and I used to always go to New York and see them and read about them. Film Culture magazine was my Bible then. That was the magazine for underground films. And the Village Voice had Jonas Mekas' column, which covered that scene. And I saw the early Kenneth Anger movies, the early Warhol movies, and but mostly Mike and George Kuchar were the biggest influence on me. They made movies like Hold Me While I'm Naked, Pussy on a Hot Tin Roof, Sins of the Fleshopods. And so I just wanted to make my version of that, and I just made it with my friends.
Are you divine?
Yes, I am divine.
And how long have you been divine?
All of my life, day in and day out.
It's doubtful that Waters' films would have been quite as outrageous without Divine, but it's certain that Divine wouldn't have been anywhere near as divine without John Waters.
I wanted him to be like a Jane Mansfield, like a sort of 50s sex symbol, only a large one.
So when did you recognize Divine's star potential?
I recognized Divine's star potential when he was at high school, and he looked very normal. He was quiet, he was shy, and the police had to bring him home from school every day because the kids wanted to beat him up, and for nothing. He had a girlfriend. He dressed not flamboyantly, but every once in a while he'd relax and that divinity would show through, and it made people nervous. And I was his first fan, maybe.
With money borrowed from his father, Waters soon progressed from 8mm to 16, gathering a group of like-minded and equally outrageous friends who formed the repertory company he still draws on today.
We grew up together, and we started hanging around together when we were teenagers, and well, we were juvenile delinquents, really. I quit school so I could be a delinquent full-time.
It was mostly, I think, suburban rejects. People that really were not happy with the suburban life, and then you met people from other suburbs, which we all were from. None of us lived in the city. Nice people didn't live in the city at that point.
Oh, we thought we were fabulous. We thought we were... I thought I was the greatest superstar that ever walked the face of the earth. I think if I'd, with that attitude, set foot in New York, I would have been eaten alive by anybody who was really a superstar, any of the real Warhol people. But for Baltimore, we were pretty extreme.
Town is currently undergoing gentrification. The yuppies are moving in. But in the 60s, it was a much rougher area, known for cheap housing and cheap bars. It was the seedier part of Baltimore, and Waters was attracted not only by the lowlife, but also by the fact that he could shoot his films here without being disturbed.
They were superheroes of sex.
Sex was the role and nudity was my costume.
You really had to talk and walk and have sex at the same time. From the peep shows to the silver screen.
My name was listed as appearing in 14 different movies that day in New York City.
They were the renegade icons of sexual freedom.
I was in my 30s. Hardly a time in one's life when one thinks of becoming a sex object or a sex symbol.
A freedom that came with a price.
The cops would bust sets. They would hold naked people on the floor with their boot at their neck.
The untold story of 70s porno chic.
It was cultish, it was avant-garde, it had broken into the mainstream consciousness.
Told by the people who lived it.
You know, we had money and drugs and sex and wonderful clothes and everything you could possibly ask for.
Come on! In a world where only
peep shows sold
and clothing was a part of matinees
were taken over and turned into bookie nights.
And so began a time of pure decadence
where only the exhibitionist reigned.
Porno chic was the name of the game. When Rated X ruled the world. We lived in an era that will never be again. We were the pioneers.
We were a bunch of kids expressing ourselves.
It's your thing.
Do what you wanna do.
A lot of us had